Have you ever wondered what would happen if sound itself became the monster under your bed? What if the very air around you, the whispers, the creaks, the hum of the world turned against you? That's the terrifying premise of the new horror film Undertone. Forget jump scares and gory monsters for a moment. This film strips horror down to its most primal element, sound. Trust me, after watching it, you'll never listen to silence the same way again. Today, we're diving deep into the world of Undertone, exploring how it weaponizes audio to create a psychological nightmare that will echo in your head long after the credits roll. We'll unpack the chilling teaser that's been making waves online, get to know our protagonist, Evie, dissect the brilliant sound design that makes this film a true game changer for the horror genre. So, turn up the volume if you darin'. Let's get started. First, let's talk about that teaser trailer. It's a masterpiece of minimalist horror. The screen is almost entirely black for a full minute. No monsters, no screaming, just darkness. But the audio. Oh, the audio is a symphony of terror. It starts with a faint, rhythmic tapping. Is it a leaky faucet? A branch against a window? Then a whisper, so low you can barely make it out, slithers into the soundscape. The tapping gets faster, more frantic. A floorboard creaks upstairs. A child's music box starts playing, horribly out of tune. Each sound is perfectly placed, layered on top of the last, building an unbearable sense of dread. You can't see what's making the noises, and that's the genius of it. Your own imagination becomes the enemy, filling in the black screen with your worst fears. By the time the film's title, Undertone, finally appears, your heart is pounding, and you're already terrified of what you haven't seen. This isn't just a trailer, it's a mission statement. The film is telling us loud and clear, the real horror isn't what you see, it's what you hear. So, who is the unfortunate soul at the center of this auditory nightmare? Meet Evie. She's not your typical horror protagonist. She's a brilliant sound engineer, someone whose entire life and career revolve around her hypersensitive hearing. She can distinguish between thousands of frequencies, identify the make and model of a car by the sound of its engine, and hear the subtle imperfections in a recording that most of us would miss. Her ears are her superpower. But in Undertone, the filmmakers turn her greatest strength into her most terrifying vulnerability. After a traumatic accident, the details of which are shrouded in mystery, Evie retreats to her family's isolated, old house to recover. She's hoping for peace and quiet, a chance to heal. But the house has other plans. It's an old house, full of the usual creaks and groans. At first, Evie dismisses them, chalking it up to the building settling. But her trained ears start picking up on things that aren't right. The sounds aren't random. They have a pattern, a rhythm, an intelligence. The whispers she hears in the static of her recording equipment start forming words. The drafts whistling through the hallways sound like they're calling her name. The house isn't just making noise, it's communicating with her, preying on her expertise, using her own sensitivity to sound to drive her to the brink of madness. This is what makes her character so compelling. We're not just watching a victim, we're watching an expert in her field being systematically dismantled by the very thing she masters. Now let's get into the real meat of the film, the sound design. This is where Undertone truly innovates. The filmmakers use a technique they call psychological acoustics. It's not just about loud bangs and startling noises. It's about manipulating sound to directly affect the viewer's subconscious. They use infrasound low-frequency sounds below the range of normal human hearing, which have been known to cause feelings of unease, anxiety, and even dread. You might not consciously hear it, but your body feels it. Your heart rate increases. You get goosebumps. You feel a sense of presence in the room, all without knowing why. They also play with binaural audio, which creates a three-dimensional soundscape when you listen with headphones. Sounds will feel like they're coming from behind you, above you, or right next to your ear. That whisper we talked about? With binaural audio, it feels like someone is genuinely whispering into your ear in a dark room. It's an incredibly intimate and unsettling experience that breaks the barrier between the film and the audience. You're not just a spectator. You're in the house with Evie, hearing what she hears, experiencing her terror in real time. This is why many are saying that watching Undertone with a good pair of headphones is an absolute must. It's a completely different and, frankly, more terrifying experience. But the brilliance doesn't stop there. The film also understands the power of silence. In a world saturated with noise, true silence can be deafening, even frightening. The director uses silence not as a break from the horror, but as an extension of it. After a cacophony of terrifying sounds, the film will suddenly plunge into absolute silence. And in that void, your mind starts racing. Your ears strain, waiting for the next noise, the next threat. Become hyper-aware of your own breathing, the beat of your own heart. The silence is a canvas, and the film has taught you to paint it with your own fear. It's a masterful manipulation of audience expectation, proving that sometimes the most terrifying sound is no sound at all. This focus on audio horror taps into a very deep-seated primal fear. Our hearing is one of our most ancient survival mechanisms. It's the sense that works 24/7, even when we're asleep, constantly scanning the environment for threats. A snapping twig in a dark forest meant a predator could be near. An unfamiliar sound in the middle of the night put our ancestors on high alert. Undertone hijacks this evolutionary alarm system. Film creates sounds that are deliberately unnatural and unsettling, a footstep that sounds too heavy, a voice that's pitched just a little too low, a scratching sound that seems to come from inside the walls. These sounds trigger an instinctive fear response in us. We know on a gut level that something is wrong, even if we can't see it. This is the psychological core of Undertone. It's a film about the loss of control, about the invasion of personal space. Sound is invasive. You can close your eyes, but you can't close your ears. When the horror is auditory, there's no escape. It gets inside your head, literally. For Evie, this is a descent into a personal hell where her own senses betray her. Is the house actually haunted by a malevolent sound-based entity? Or is her trauma, combined with her hypersensitive hearing, causing her to have a complete psychotic break? The film brilliantly walks this line, leaving the audience to question what is real and what is in Evie's head. And because we're experiencing the world through her ears, we become just as disoriented and paranoid as she is. We start to doubt our own senses. Ultimately, Undertone isn't just a horror movie, it's an experience. It's a film that demands to be listened to as much as it is watched. It challenges the conventions of the genre and reminds us that the most effective scares don't need a big budget for special effects, just a deep understanding of human psychology. It taps into our primal fears and uses the power of sound to create a chilling, unforgettable journey into madness. It's a testament to the idea that what we hear can be infinitely more terrifying than what we see. So, if you're a fan of psychological horror, if you're looking for a film that will genuinely get under your skin and stay there, you have to check out Undertone. But be warned, you might find yourself sleeping with the lights on, and maybe even with earplugs in. This film will change the way you listen to the world around you. Every creak of your house, every whisper of the wind, every bit of static from your speakers will carry a new, sinister weight. What do you think? Are you brave enough to listen? Let me know in the comments below if you've seen the teaser, or if you're replanning on watching the film, and what's the scariest sound you can imagine? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more content. Until next time, listen closely.